You don't really want to open the show with the sound of like me snorting water down my lungs, do you? I don't think that's really attractive.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel heat, grenade, thirsty.
Roads? When we're going, we don't need roads.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman.
I am the father.
Basically, we've got to that stage in lockdown now where Mary's trying to find things to keep herself entertained just now and resorted to snorting water. Because alcohol and drinking, it's just not doing it for her anymore. So
It's just not numbing the pain.
She's going to do a trial run with water first and see how that feels, and she's going to move on to vodka.
Waterboarding myself just to feel something. That's the stage of lockdown we're at.
Next, she'll be DMing Army Hammer.
Honestly,
Sure.
this is the best thing, the best story I have heard in such a long time. And every day I go onto Instagram, somebody else has come out about some body part they wants to consume or tie up or whatever. It's amazing. I love this.
Some events said a cracker on Twitter, actually. It was a picture of my Gray's knee, lying on the ground next to a bike, looking dead dramatic, saying, me after falling off my bike next to Army Hammer's house.
It's absolutely crazy. I had barely heard of him at all. I always just knew he was the guy with the same name as the toothpaste, and I hadn't really seen anything that he was in. And then all of a sudden, it's just he is into not even into kink, because I'm not going to kink shame anyone, but he wants to eat people. That's a whole other level.
Yeah, I mean, I won't kink shame anybody unless it involves, I don't know, murder. That's kind of a good boundary.
Yeah.
I mean,
You set boundaries, yeah.
it's important. I mean, I do know there are certain cannibals and people that like to be eaten, and that's a controversial subject in itself. But yeah, I don't know, are these DMs unsolicited as well? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Apparently, he had a group of women who were called kittens, who were I don't want to say slaves, but that's kind of how he referred to them. And he would just, I think the kind of thing is if he'd had a falling out with his wife or whatever, he would just message one of these group of women who he would hook up with for extremely rough sex. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
I mean,
and then obviously it became...
I mean, there's extremely rough sex and there's Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously crossed a line. I mean, not even that, his poor wife, he was obviously doing this while they were married and they'd been married for a long time, and oh God. I wonder if she knew, or if he totally led this double life where he was all sweetness and light at home and going out to fucking break somebody's ribs at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you see her journal and it's something made my husband steak again tonight. He seems to want it rarer and rarer each time.
How many barbecues can we have in 1 week? Yeah.
I mean, he's not even liking the thing anymore.
Oh my God. I mean, and apparently Jennifer Lopez, I mean, what a loss to filmmaking. Jennifer Lopez has cut him out of her latest movie, which is called Shotgun Wedding, which, I mean, there's probably a joke in there somewhere, but he's lost a job because of it anyway.
Yes, I actually think he's a good actor as well. He was really good.
I don't think I've really seen... Oh, right, okay, so I have seen him in that. That's been about it then, I think.
The Social Network. He played the twins.
Oh, right, okay, I've seen him in more stuff than I think. Then he's just, I mean, I obviously have just forgotten that he existed, because I feel like I haven't really seen him in anything, but there's two quite big movies that I've definitely seen that he's been in.
I mean, he was supposed to be Batman, wasn't he? In the Justice League film. Yeah, George Miller's Justice League. Yeah.
Really?
He was cast. Yeah, they had the whole cast set up for that, and he was Batman.
They basically filmed relative unknowns at the time, and that was the idea. I can understand why it never really got off the ground when you think about it from that point of view, try to make a film of that scale, but not cast recognisable actors. But yeah, who knows how things would have went if he got that role.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think not getting a role is what turned him to cannibalism, but who knows?
It's a slippery slope.
There's so many actors out there who just, they missed out on that all-important role, and all of a sudden they just want to barbecue their girlfriends.
Yeah, well, if you watch that documentary, You Cannot Kill David Arquette, how his career spiraled and took a turn, and what he ended up, what it kind of leads to, he almost died in a wrestling ring.
Really?
Yeah, his throat got cut. His neck got cut, sorry.
I've listened to interviews with him when he was publicising the film, and he was talking about all that, and just he was actually speaking, and he came across as being really level-headed about the whole thing, and you're thinking it's not a level-headed sort of thing that you're doing, mate. You know, it's really kind of extreme. You know.
So, long story short, I will get the podcast in a minute. But long story short, like David Arquette was in WCW, which was as big, if not bigger, than WWF at the time, as a cross-promotional thing to promote his new film. It was a wrestling movie. And they made a decision to give him the world, to have him win the world title, which was a big no-no amongst wrestling fans and the old timers and stuff. They're saying this is a prestigious title. This is just, people don't think wrestling's real anymore. But this is taking the piss. It's just saying that anybody could win this. There's no prestige to it. But that's haunted them for like 20 years. And the film didn't do many favours either because it was a bomb. So nobody was taking him seriously as an actor. We think he was screaming stuff like that. Before that, it was actually like. It was on the cover of Vanity Fair with DiCaprio.
Really?
Yeah, and Benicio del Toro and things like that. It was seen as like one of the next big things. But he just kind of took it a different route. But now he wanted to kind of become a wrestler to try and kind of redeem himself in the eyes of wrestling fans. So he basically starts right at the bottom and tries to build himself up. But he has a match where it goes terribly, terribly wrong. And it gets like I don't think it's an artery, but it's close to it. Where a glass cuts his neck and he has to get rushed to the hospital. And it could have died. And in fact, he's at 46 at the time. His body's in no shape to be doing this. He's got neurologists and doctors saying, "Don't do this. It's a terrible idea." It's worth watching. It's a cracking documentary.
I mean, that literally feels like the plot of The Wrestler, but obviously it actually happened.
It's a Rocky story. The documentary. It's and that's not kind of spoil, but it's supposed to be a feel-good redemption story. And I mean, you think David Arquette, you're like. Really? David Arquette, he's still a thing? But it talks about like going to auditions for 10 years and not getting roles. Do you think David Arquette this is still auditioning? Even though, you know, it's worth watching. Even just to see his new wife.
I'm going to finish off The Serpent because I am loving that, I have to say. I'm really quite obsessed with Tahar Rahim. Like, he's literally not made, I'm looking back at stuff that I've seen him in, like The Last Panthers, A Prophet, The Lumen Tower. Like, he's brilliant and everything. And I'm going to watch the Richard Ramirez documentary this weekend as well, the Night Stalker, just because what's a weekend without a bit of a serial killer chat, you know? Exactly. But I'll put the David Arquette thing on my list. Yeah,
it's worth watching. I've recorded it off Sky. It was good. That's enough serial killer chat, I think. Let's talk about the films.
I mean, honestly, like, because obviously we're doing these two films, and because of all this Armie Hammer stuff, I'm just looking back on Frenzy and going, this could be a documentary.
Yeah, and Psycho. And anything. American Psycho is a big one, though, because Armie Hammer has that look to him.
Aye, I get what you mean. Yeah. Get what you mean. Yeah.
You know, it could easily be a real-life Patrick Bateman.
I mean, I think the messages would suggest that he is.
Yes. So they actually put a clip up in American Psycho, and it was Armie Hammer flirting. It's a scene where Patrick Bateman's talking to the bar woman in the pub. He's like, "You stupid fucking ugly bitch, I want to take off your face and eat your guts." I mean, everybody thought Lone Ranger would be the worst thing that Armie Hammer did.
Well, is he not in the new, what's the word I'm looking for? The kind of Poirot, the Death on the Nile? Is he not in that?
Yes, yeah, he's in that, yeah. And obviously he was in the killer. He was in Call Me By Your Name as well, the Luca Guadagnino film. Which
I
still haven't
very,
seen
very
that.
well.
It's the picture. Follow-up to it. Yeah. It's a picture somebody put up. It was a clip for Hannibal, the show. And it was it said Armie Hammer and Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
And Call Me By Your Name. Oh man. Oh, well, I remember actually, we'll talk about this after. I don't want to spoil it for John, but I watched I'm Thinking of Ending Things last night.
Right.
What the fuck is that ending?
No. It was so annoying because I had hyped this up so much and I was like, oh, Chris, this book was so good. I really enjoyed it. I used to read it in Waterstones when I was waiting for Chris to finish work because I was on shift. And I was like, this book was so good. And then we watched the movie and Chris just turned to me really slowly in the last 10 minutes and was like, what the fuck is going on?
Jen done the same. She turned to me and said, what the fuck did I just watch? Because up until that point, I think she was enjoying it. It was fine.
It was amazing up until the last 10-15 minutes. And I was just like, just shat all over it. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was weird. Did you watch it after the credits bit?
Oh shit! No, was there an after the credits? But I mean, by the time it was finished, I was done with it. So no, I didn't realise there was an after the credits. But
I'd watch it, John. I don't know. I think I'd appreciate it more because I read the book or listened to the audiobook, which after digesting it for a day, I enjoyed more than at first. I still think there's something a bit kind of rushed about the ending.
You said that earlier, yeah.
I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it reminds me of something else. And I think it's quite gimmicky to an extent, but I didn't dislike it. I just need to think about it more.
I think there was a lot of hate for the movie because people, like, obviously, Sydney, as you know, there's a lot of changes that happen like throughout the different scenes, and people were like, I don't understand this. And it's like, it's probably one of those ones where you do actually have to have read the book to kind of get the context a wee bit, I think. I don't know.
No, I prefer. I think I appreciated the film a lot more having known the story. Bizarrely enough, maybe it's that kind of thing. Some things I better watch twice as well.
Yeah. I thought, is it David Thewlis? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
I thought he was really good in it. And obviously, my husband, the guy from Fargo, whose name I forget all the time, he was in Game Night.
Jesse.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
It's good, John. I'd recommend it.
I've seen the trailers and stuff for it, so yeah, I will give it a go. It's just so many things in the go at the moment, let's face it.
That's very true.
I want to either get Pieces of a Woman or Promising Young Woman watched this weekend so I can write the review, but my heart is drawn to Night Stalker. I can't not watch that. I'm kind of obsessed.
Well, I mean, Promising Young Woman isn't out until March or something like that. Or no.
Oh, people are seeing it now this weekend. Or is that just America? Because like I have seen a lot.
It may be the US. Yeah, we're not getting it. I don't think for another couple of weeks or so. And obviously, it's just going to be online here anyway. So
yeah.
In fact, it's online in America as well. What I'm saying, of course, it is. Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it, when that happens? When there's stuff there's still delays and stuff coming out here when it's coming out in the States and all that. I just don't understand it because everything's online.
Because apparently the Mauritanian, which is I'm going to watch as part of the film festival, apparently that's been out on VOD in the States for weeks as well.
Yeah, I've seen reviews of that. So
what the fuck?
But that kind of happens with festivals, not so much with like major films like Minari, the opening film. That's out in VOD in other parts of the world. But it happens all the time. They get released in different territories in different times, and sometimes you find that something's been out for 7 or 8 months before you actually get to see it at a festival, even before it's even released here. It's weird. I mean, if you think about it, Promising Young Woman was supposed to be out last March. It's meant to hit the cinemas last March, because it was a surprise film at the film festival last year.
I know, and I'm gutted that I didn't go to it because I'd seen all the trailers for it and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And I really like, is it Emerald Fennell that's written it? Like, she's written quite a lot of like really good scripts and she works with Phoebe Waller-Bridge quite a lot. And I've been dying to see it. And literally, I was looking on Twitter and I was like, oh my god, it must be coming to like VOD or whatever this weekend. And then it said it was a US release only. And I was like, how does that work? It's streaming. Why isn't it just everywhere?
Yeah, it just means it's available elsewhere, but not through proper channels. That's what happens, you know. It's not great.
I'm terrible at this hosting. Lucky, I could do this all day.
You're only the one that's done more podcasts than anybody else.
I know.
Yeah, but I haven't hosted in a while. I'm nervous.
We can tell. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any people that intro that I try and avoid fucking top of the lockdown and the pandemic, to be honest with you.
I know.
With label on the point, but I won't go.